Hello, this is Brian again. Welcome to clip number 2 of my upper San Clemente Canyon hike. Just picking up right where I left. So now, climbing into the chaparral, and we've got some chamise up here too. I hadn't noticed them up fasciculatum. However, these plants have been divided up into different varieties. Variety fasciculatum, variety obtusifolium, and variety prostratum. These ones up here almost appear to be intermediate between variety obtusifolium, the coastal chamise, and the typical variety fasciculatum, the typical chamise. These ones definitely appear more to be variety obtusifolium. We are relatively close to the ocean, just a few miles away. So it appears we have a nice population of coastal or San Diego chamise. So we've just about completely gained the ridgeline. My last clip I left off like seconds before I opened up the second clip. So we're now on top of the mesa, enjoying a nice cool breeze right now, which is wonderful. Now you get to see that mesa and canyon formation that is very prevalent here in the San Diego region. Right here at this viewpoint, this is where you're going to get probably the perfect embodiment or a perfect picture of what I'm trying to tell you. So, as you notice, the mesa tops are relatively flat, you know, I wouldn't say completely flat. But you notice, all the communities that surround these canyons are on a more or less level plane of land. However, what you notice, these neighborhoods are cut by these canyons. You see here, this is one of the tributaries of San Clemente Canyon, the greater Santa Clemente Canyon, which is of course bisected by 52. That's the north side going towards University City. That's going over towards La Jolla. And this is going over towards Mission Bay. So a lot of these coastal communities here, especially in southern and central coastal San Diego County, have these neighborhoods that are cut and divided by these canyons and ravines. So this is that mesa canyon topography that is very common in the San Diego area. And having grown up out here, I've always appreciated the fact that you can dip out of a neighborhood and just dip into one of these canyons and just see all this beautiful natural vegetation. Again, here we got coastal chamise, also called San Diego chamise, old lemonade sumac, and some of these plants grow right up against people's fences. So when I was a kid, I was always jealous of the people who lived butt up against a canyon. I was always jealous of those people. Always wanted to have a backyard that bordered a canyon like this. So I was always jealous of the people who did have that. You know, back then I couldn't just, I was a kid, and I couldn't just get into a car and drive or do any of that kind of stuff. So now we're going to come across some more interesting stuff. So there's a lot of Mission Manzanita here. These are the old flowers from the chamise that are going to turn into seed heads. Again, the San Diego chamise, or coastal chamise, is only found, I believe, from northern Baja, somewhere Baja, up to far southern Orange County near Laguna Niguel. And it's usually within 10 miles of the ocean, or I think maybe exclusively, maybe. It's very close. It's a coastal variety. How do you tell the difference between this and the original regular chamise variety fasciculatum? It's a variety of Tusifolium. Leaves are shorter, and they're fleshier. Shorter and fleshier. Okay. And here's something. One reason why I've always loved this part of San Diego County, you know, besides the big mountains and stuff, is that, look at that, Yucca scadigera. That is a Mojave Yucca. And yes, a Mojave Yucca, a plant that grows in the desert. Grows in the deserts. I've seen it in the deserts, and I've seen it in pinyon woodland in the mountains, and I've seen it right on the coast. So that's Mojave Yucca. Let's see if I can find some other specimens. Other ones around here for sure. There are other Mojave Yuccas here. I know there was an old one around here somewhere, if I can find where it is. I might have to kind of explore a little bit. I know there were some big ones. But yeah, Mojave Yucca grows from near sea level on the coastline here in southwestern San Diego County. And it also grows up above 6,500 feet in the San Bernardino Mountains. I've seen it mixed in with single-leaf pinyon and even Sierra juniper. So here's another beautiful Mojave Yucca right here. Look at that. You can see all those little peelings from the side of the leaves, the little filaments. Because I've seen Mojave Yucca grow a lot with Joshua trees, and sometimes a young Joshua tree can look like a Mojave Yucca. A young Joshua tree can look a lot like a Mojave Yucca. The Joshua tree doesn't have these peeling filaments here. So if you're ever in Joshua tree country, you might find Mojave Yucca there too. But as you see here, got a nice little stretch of coastal chaparral. Again, we got Areophyllum confertiflorum, variety confertiflorum, the good old golden yarrow. Again, Xylococcus bicolor, Mission Manzanita. Of course, black sage, Salvia mellifera. It's starting to go into its dry season dormancy. Another beautiful Mojave Yucca. And of course, plenty of mature coastal chamise up here. And I've read that they're not supposed to get as tall or whatever, or the same size as the common chamise. But I beg to differ, because a lot of these chamise shrubs are at least as tall as the common chamise I've seen in more interior foothills and mountains. So, I beg to differ there. I think it gets quite about the same size. And here's an old Mission Manzanita. Very old one right here. It's an old one that's been around for probably for centuries. There's another species of shrub. I've seen it a couple times over here. I'm going to try to find it too. I know there were a couple of specimens that are along this ridge line, up on a little tangent, a little spot on the side. Let's see if I can find them. You know, sometimes you can find these little pathways that'll get you towards them. Let me see. So I gotta see if I can find where I saw it. It was on the slope that faces down to the canyon that I was on the other side of San Clemente Canyon. that I showed on clip number 1 as I was backtracking. Let's see if I can remember where I could find that specific plant. And I've rarely come across it in high numbers when I'm hiking. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if I can get lucky and find it. This might require a little bit of a time investment, perhaps, and a little bushwhacking. Try and see if I can find it. A little spot that. Ooh. Did I go this way already? I think I did. I think I did. I might have gone this way. Maybe not. Yeah, we'll see. Talking about chamise, coastal chamise being smaller. Yeah, I disagree. It's a pretty decent sized chamise here. Okay, here we go. Here's a huge old Mission Manzanita. Humongous. These things get quite large, up to 15 feet tall potentially. See where all the trunks meet in the center? There's a big root burrow in there. So this plant can resprout from its base, like a huge chunk of these plants can do, following fire. Huge chunk of these chaparral species that are growing here. But you can see, this one likely has resprouted before. Just kind of looking at the bit in the middle there, must have been the main plant from before, and all of a sudden it's all gone now. So this one these might potentially live over 1,000 years, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I thought I read somewhere that is a possibility, that Mission Manzanita can live for up to a millennium or so. But look at that beautiful shrub right there. This is a beautiful Mission Manzanita. Xylococcus bicolor. It does look very similar to the true Manzanitas in the genus Arctostaphylos, and in fact is related to them, being in the heath family, the Ericaceae. So they are related to Manzanita, the true Manzanita's Arctostaphylos species. But the leaves curl under, and the fruits, the fruits, the little drupes that I showed you. I think it was. No, I showed it. Was it clip 1 or this clip? One of the clips. You saw the fruits on them. They were very, very round, very Manzanita looking. However, they're extremely hard. Very hard. They're woody, Xylococcus, woody fruit. So now we're coming out to this little overlook here, and then we have some interesting stuff over here. And we got some scrub oaks over here that are nearly tree-sized. Trying to see if I can tell what species this is. It's really fuzzy underneath, like noticeably fuzzy. Trying to see. I think this is Quercus dumosa. Quercus dumosa and Quercus acutidens would be your likely candidates here. There's another scrub oak over here that's quite a bit different looking. Let's see if I can get to it without bonking myself or something. Let's see. Here's another scrub oak right here. Very different. Very different. It's this right here. Why can't I see the leaves up close? trying to see if I can skip to the leaves. It's kind of annoying. Okay, so these are the leaves of this one. Notice the leaves are much larger. That contributes to the very confusing scrub oaks here of Southern California. This one here is probably Quercus acutidens. It's larger, however, the color of the leaves kind of has more of a bluish grayish hue to them. So it kind of reminds me that it kind of makes me think that it might have some Engelmann oak DNA in it. It might have Quercus engelmannii DNA in it. It's definitely not an Engelmann oak, like a pure Engelmann oak, because the leaves are not quite as spiny edged as these are. But again, these got much larger leaves. I believe this is Quercus acutidens, but it might have Quercus engelmannii influence in it. Some of the scrub oaks, most of them are in the white oak group, so you can expect a lot of them to hybridize. This one could potentially have hybrid DNA in it as well. So I believe this is a Quercus acutidens. Then again, it's really hard to tell. I haven't found any device that helps me really magnify the trichomes or the hairs underneath the leaves to really tell it apart. But looking at this, I really do think that this is a Quercus acutidens. And Quercus acutidens comes from hybrid stock too. I don't remember right at the moment exactly which species were the progenitors of it. It might have been Quercus cornelis muelleri, it might have been Quercus berbertifolia. I'll have to check that out. And then here's another plant that's I never see in high numbers. This one right here is summer holly. This is Comarostaphylos diversifolia, subspecies diversifolia. It's divided into at least two subspecies. Subspecies or variety diversifolia, the leaves are curled down on the edges. You can kind of see here. Looks a lot like a Mission Manzanita leaf, because Mission Manzanitas are also curled under for the most part. But these leaves tend to be a little bit narrower. And they're also kind of fuzzy underneath. And how you can tell this apart from a Mission Manzanita when there are no fruits on the plants is the bark is not smooth and brown. It's gray and shreddy. That's how you know this is Comarostaphylos diversifolia, subspecies diversifolia, as opposed to Xylococcus bicolor, the Mission Manzanita. So I have, there are no fruits on it, but I think this one's been, looks like a pretty old specimen. It's been around for a while. I don't even know if there are going to be any fruits on it this year. Kind of a shame. But the fruits they look like strawberry tree or madrones. They're kind of in these hanging raceme clusters, like a stalk, and then the fruits on all sides, and kind of reddish color. Kind of looks like a madrone fruit from the arbutus species, like Arbutus manzisi, the Pacific madrone, the strawberry tree. So they're very similar. So they're also in the heath family, and like Mission Manzanita, the true Manzanitas and madrones and strawberry trees, they're all in the madrone tribe. So they all are in their own enclave of the heath family. So they're in their Arbutoideae, which is the madrone subtribe, or the madrone tribe of the heath family. Again, here's Mission Manzanita. The twigs are gray. The leaves, again, they curl under. However, lower down, get that smooth bark right there. So, and then of course, the more common species, Toyon heteromales arbutifolia. That's another common chaparral, and also in coastal sage scrub. And Toyons can get to be quite large. Sometimes the size of a small tree, not out of the question. But they're typically shrubby in stature. And again, more lemonade sumac, or lemonade berry, Rusa tegrifolia. And more Mission Manzanita. And here's the north-facing slope of that. Well, I better let you go. This is about to die out, so I'll see you on clip number 3.